हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnav vrinda ki jai. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are continuing our study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, Text 35, I believe. I'm not sure, but we'll start from 35. So, Srimad Bhagavatam 3.26.35. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev Muni is speaking to his mother, Srimati Devahuti Devi. नभसः शब्द तन्मात्रात् कालगत्या विकुर्वतः स्पर्शो भवत्ततो वायुस्त्वक्स्पर्शस्य च संग्रहः. From ethereal existence means sky. From ethereal existence, which evolves from sound, the next transformation takes place under the impulse of time, and thus the subtle element touch. And from that, the air and sense of touch become prominent. Purport. Sri Kapil Dev Bhagwan is describing the nature of this whole material creation, all the elements, how this material world comes into being, and what are its characteristics. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, in the course of time, when the subtle forms are transformed into gross forms, they become the objects of touch. The objects of touch and the tactile sense also develop after this evolution, and all this is happening in the purview of time, Kal. Evolution in time. Sound is the first sense object to exhibit material existence. Sound is in sky. And from perception of sound, touch perception evolves. Touch perception comes from air. And from touch perception, the perception of sight. Sight comes from fire. So sky means ether, air, fire. That is the way of gradual evolution of our perceptive objects. Text 36. Mridutvam कठिनत्वं च शैत्यम् उष्णत्वम् एव च एतत् स्पर्शस्य स्पर्शत्वं तन्मात्रत्वं नभस्वतः. Softness and hardness, cold and heat are the distinguishing attributes of touch. Something is soft, something is hard, something is hot, something is cold. These are the attributes of touch. And this is characterized by the subtle form of air. Air is the first of the five elements where there is touch. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, tangibility is the proof of form. Tangible means something that you can perceive, you can feel. In actuality, objects are perceived in two different ways. They are either soft or hard, they are cold or hot. This tangible action of the tactile sense is the result of the evolution of air, which is produced from sky. Sky is subtle, then air. Air, fire. Fire, sound. Fire, water. And from water, earth. Text 37. Chalanam vyuhanam prapter netritvam dravya shabdayoh sarvendriyanam atmatvam vayo karma bhilakshanam. The action of the air is exhibited in movements, mixing, allowing approach to the objects of sound and other sense perceptions, and providing for the proper functioning of all other senses. This action of air, which is the quality of touch perception, is very important. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, we can perceive the action of air when the branches of a tree move or when dry leaves on the ground collect together. So, all this is happening under the influence of air. The tree moves, branches move, dry leaves fall, wind is moving them. Similarly, it is only by the action of air that a body moves. Just like a tree moves because of the action of wind, leaves, branches, they move because of wind. Prabhupada says even this body that is moving, it is because of movement of air, circulation of air. And when the air circulation is impeded, many diseases result. Now look what Prabhupada says. Paralysis, nervous breakdowns, madness, and many other diseases are actually due to an insufficient circulation of air. It is a vikar, it is a problem with the Vayu element. Vat. In Ayurvedic system, these diseases are treated on the basis of air circulation. If from the beginning one takes care of the process of air circulation, such diseases cannot take place. So Ayurveda is very big on prevention. Prevention. I will tell you something, my dear friends. This is from practical experience. Ayurveda is very different from what is taught in the Western medicine, which I practice. We call it allopathy. But the better term is Western medicine because it's all developed in the West. And the Indian system is Ayurvedic system. And homeopathy was invented or developed in Germany. So there is homeopathy from Germany. There is the most ancient Ayurveda from India, Bharat. And then there is the Western medicine developed in Europe and America, which is the also called as allopathic. But Western medicine is a more apt term, or modern medicine. Modern medicine has a very different approach. And Ayurveda is all about prevention. There are many different types of residency programs. There is internal medicine, there is family medicine, there is pediatrics, orthopedics, general surgery, plastic surgery, gastroenterology, neurology, neurosurgery. So many different types of residency programs are there. And among them is a very less known residency program called preventive medicine. Many of you may not have heard of it also. There is preventive medicine. And the sad truth is that it is the least sought after medical specialization, preventive medicine. Because the whole modern medicine, Western medicine, is based on treating the diseases, not preventing. You go to a cardiologist with some chest pain and they say, stent dalna padega. You have to put a stent, or you need a bypass surgery, or you need stress test, you need that, and then they'll recommend some intervention. But they will not talk much about prevention. We are not taught so much about prevention because prevention doesn't pay. When you treat something by putting a stent or doing a surgery, you get money. You don't get so much money for giving preventive counseling to the patient. So, this is how money governs the practice of medicine, unfortunately, in the modern times. But look at Ayurveda. Prabhupada is saying, if from the beginning one takes care of the process of air circulation in the body, such diseases cannot take place. Ayurveda is big on prevention, healthy lifestyle. Further, Srila Prabhupada says, from the Ayurveda as well as from Srimad Bhagavatam, it is clear that so many activities are going on internally and externally because of air alone. And as soon as there is some deficiency in the circulation of air, these activities of the body cannot take place. So this is very important, but this is not how modern medicine is taught. We are not taught that there is Vayu circulating in the body. We only know about air in the lungs. But Ayurveda is different. But it is a perfect science because it is part of the Vedas. It is perfect. Um, and unfortunately, there is so much pollution, there is so much bad lifestyle, and Ayurveda also has been westernized the way it is taught, BAMS, all these things. Now you get a degree in Ayurveda. But previously you had to stay with the guru and learn the Vedic science of Ayurveda. For free it was taught. Now it is all degree, all textbook. It's been westernized. Those pure herbs, medicines, plants are also not there now. So lot of knowledge and expertise of Ayurveda is largely lost today. 38. वायोश्च स्पर्श तन्मात्रात् रूपं दैवेरितादभूत् सम्मोथितं ततस्तेजस् चक्षुरूपोपलम्बनम्. By the interactions of air and the sensations of touch, one receives different forms according to destiny. By evolution of such forms, दैवेरितात् abhut, one receives them according to destiny. This is important. According to destiny, we receive different forms of life. By evolution of such forms, there is fire, and the eyes see different forms in color. Fire has the quality of sight. Fire is the first element that is visible. It has a form. Because ether doesn't have form, air doesn't have form that we cannot see air. If we saw air, we would become blind. Because air is everywhere. So we cannot see air, but we can see fire. And then the next element among Panchamahabhut, five gross element, next is water, which also you can see, and earth also you can see. Fire is the first one that becomes visible. It has roop. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, because of destiny, the touch sensation, the interactions of air, and the situation of the mind, which is produced by the ethereal elements, one receives a body according to one's previous activities. So clearly, it is mentioned that we receive our body based on our previous activities. Karana guna sangasya sadasad yoni janmashu. Or karmana daiva netrena, as it is said in Bhagavad Gita. That daiva netrena is the higher powers who give us the body based on our previous karma. Every karma we do, every activity we do, there are witnesses like Yamaraj, the four directions, the 10 directions rather, and the Dikpatis of all the directions. Um, Surya Dev is witness in the daytime, Chandra Dev is witness at the night time, Vayu is a witness, Agni Dev is a witness. There is Agni inside our body, there is Vayu inside our body. So all our activities are being witnessed. And ultimately, there is Paramatma, always there. So there are many witnesses, and based on our activities, we get um, the results. Text 39. Dravyakrititvam gunata vyakti samsthatvamev cha tejastvam tejasa sadhvi rupamatrasya vrittayah. Bhagavan Shri Kapil Dev is addressing his mother as Sadhvi, oh saintly lady. My dear mother, the characteristics of form are understood by dimension, quality, and individuality. Akritvam, Akriti means the dimension, the form. Gunata, the quality, and the individuality. The form of fire is appreciated by its effulgence, tejastvam, tej. This is the how you come to know rupa matrasya. You come to know the roop, the form of a thing. It is appreciated in terms of its dimension, its quality, its individuality. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says every form that we appreciate has its particular dimensions. Like the cell phone holder has particular dimensions. Characteristics. This is hard. This part is can be moved, rotated, adjusted. So it has its dimensions, it has its characteristics. Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it malleable? Is it rigid? The quality of a particular object is appreciated by its utility. What is the utility of the thing? That also is important consideration. Text 40. Dyotanam panchanam panam madanam himamardhanam tejaso vrittayastreta shoshanam kshut Trideva cha. Fire is appreciated by its light and by its ability to cook, to digest, to destroy cold, to evaporate, and to give rise to hunger, thirst, eating, and drinking. Hare Krishna. So these are the qualities of fire. Fire has roop. So we have to consider all these things. Fire is appreciated by its light. How bright is the fire? Or is the fire covered by smoke, not very bright? How bright is the fire? That ability to give light is one of the characteristics of fire. Ability to cook. How can fire transform food into cooked food, raw food into cooked food? To digest, there is the Jatharagni, the digestive fire in the belly. It helps to digest. Then, when it is cold, fire helps us destroy cold, making things warm. Fire helps evaporate water. Water is evaporated from trees, water is evaporated from the ocean. Fire gives rise to hunger. Again, Jatharagni is that fire of hunger, thirst, eating, drinking. These are the symptoms of, these are the ways we can appreciate fire. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says the first symptom of fire are distribution of light and heat. And the existence of fire is also perceived in the stomach, the Jatharagni, the fire of hunger, digestion. Without fire, we cannot digest what we eat. So that is required. This is according to Ayurveda. Then text 41. Rupamatrad vikurvana tejaso daiva choditad rasamatram abhutasmad ambho jivha rasagraha. By the interaction of fire and the visual sensation, the subtle element taste evolves under a superior arrangement. Interaction of fire and visual sensation. The subtle element taste evolves under superior arrangement. Again, everything is happening under superior arrangement. Daiva chodita. Daiva is required. Krishna has made all this arrangement. From taste, water is produced because the quality of water is taste. So from taste, water is produced, and the tongue, rasana, the tongue which perceive tastes is also manifested. Jivha, rasa, graha. We can perceive taste only with the tongue. So that tongue develops, is manifested from that, like that. For fire, then and visual sensation, the next development of the is uh, material element is taste, water, because water's quality is taste. And to taste it, the sense object is the tongue that tells us the taste, jivha, that is manifested. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says the tongue is described here as the instrument for acquiring knowledge of taste. The taste buds are on the tongue. Because taste is a product of water, there is always saliva on the tongue. You cannot taste something when the mouth is dry. 42. Kashayo madhuras tiktaha kat amla iti naekadha bhautikānām vikārena rasa eko vibhidyate. Although originally one, taste becomes manifold as astringent, kashaya, sweet, madhura, bitter, tikta, pungent, katu. Listen, don't speak katu vachan, tikhe shabd. So katu means pungent. Amla means sour. And in this way, there are many six types of tastes. There is salty taste also. And that is bhautikānām vikārena rasa. Contact with different substances, we perceive these different types of tastes with our tongue. Even though ultimately the function taste is one, but that taste is perceived in different forms, like sweet, bitter, sour, spicy, like that. So in this way, taste develops. Text 43. Kledanam pindanam triptihi prananapyayanondanam tapapanodo bhuyastvam ambhaso vrittayast imah. The characteristics of water are exhibited by its moistening other substances, coagulating various mixtures, causing satisfaction, maintaining life, softening things, driving away heat. incessantly supplying itself to reservoirs of water, and refreshing by slaking taste. So these are the characteristics of water. We saw characteristics of fire. It gives light, it gives heat, it cooks the food, it digests the food in the belly. Now, what are the characteristics of water? Very beautiful. Characteristics of water are it moistens things. Your skin is dry, you put water on it, it becomes moist. Hmm? You put water on a cloth, the cloth becomes moist. Moistening things. Then coagulating various mixtures. Water also acts to form coagulation, to dissolve things. Water acts as a solvent. It causes satisfaction. We are thirsty, we drink water. We feel satisfied. Water is important for maintaining life. We cannot have life on this planet without water. Softening things. Something is very hard, you make it soft. Driving away heat. You in India we use a cooler. Huh? How many of you in India we used to use cooler? So what is the whole uh, principle behind cooler? There is tati. Tati means those wooden things, and then they are constantly moistened with water, and then there is just a simple fan. Because the air is passing through moisture through water, the air becomes nice and cooling. It's called cooler. So that property to cool is there in water. It's a characteristic of water. Hmm? Driving away heat. Incessantly, so it is said, hmm, tapa apanodaha, tapano, to drive away heat. Supplying water to reservoirs in the form of rain and refreshing our body by satisfying, quenching the thirst. That is the quality of water. Prabhupada says starvation can be mitigated by drinking water. It is sometimes found that if a person who has taken a vow to fast takes a little water at intervals, the exhaustion of fasting is at once mitigated. In the Vedas, it is said, Apomayaha pranaha, life depends on water. Life depends on water. And then how to coagulate things, moisten things. Prabhupada gives an example. If you build a house, water is actually the constituent in making the bricks, cement, everything water is required. 44. रसमात्राद्विकुर्वाणादम्भसो दैवचोदितात् गन्धमात्रम् अभूत्तस्मात् पृथ्वीघ्राणस्तु गन्धगः. Due to the interaction of water with taste perception, the subtle element of odor comes, fragrance, odor, smell, evolves by superior arrangement. Again, it is Daiva Choditat. Krishna's hand is there. From interaction of water and taste comes fragrance, odor, which is the quality of earth. Hence, the earth and the olfactory sense by which we can variously experience the aroma of the earth become manifested. Quality of earth is aroma. This becomes manifested next. This is how the material elements evolve. Text 45. Karambha puti saurabhya shanto gramadibhi prithak द्रव्यावयव वैषम्यात् गंध एको विभिद्यते. Odor, although one, becomes many as mixed. Offensive odor, nice fragrance, mild odor, strong odor, acidic smell, and so on, according to proportions of associated substances. Dravya avayaya vishamyat. According to different substances, the odor, which is one function, is experienced as different. The rose smells sweet. And then stool, it stinks so bad. So all these different odors are there. Even though the function of odor, which is the olfactory senses in the nose, is one, but it is perceived as just like tongue is one, but tastes are different: spicy, sweet, sour, like that. Smell are also different. All these evolve. Prabhupada gives a description. Mixed smell is sometimes perceived in foodstuffs prepared from various ingredients, vegetables, spices. Prabhupada says asafoetida means hinga. Hinga has a smell. Bad odors are perceived in filthy places. Good smells are perceived from camphor, menthol, And similar, we have one devotee, he keeps camphor in the car as a car freshener. When you open the door of his car, it smells so good. I also want to keep camphor in my car. So camphor, it gives nice, Prabhupada says, nice smell. Menthol, nice. So many chewing gums and all these mouth fresheners, they have menthol. Then Prabhupada says, pungent smells are perceived from garlic and onions, acidic smells from turmeric, and similar sour substances. The original aroma is the odor emanating from the earth. And when it is mixed with different substances, this odor appears in different ways, Prabhupada says. Okay. Now, 46. भावनं ब्रह्मणा स्थानं धारणं सद्विशेषणं सर्वसत्त्वगुणोद्भेदः पृथ्वीवृत्तिलक्षणम्. The characteristics of the functions of earth can be perceived by modeling forms of the Supreme Brahman, by constructing places of residence, by preparing pots to contain water, etc. In other words, the earth is the place of sustenance for all elements. Very, very important verse. Bhavanam means to create. Krishna is called Vishwa Bhavana. Krishna is the creator of the whole world. Bhavanam Brahmana Sthanam. Earth is used to create Supreme Brahman, constructing places of residence, preparing pots that contain water. In other words, earth is a place of sustenance of all elements. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says different elements such as sound, sky, air, fire, water can be perceived in the earth. All the qualities are there in earth. Another feature of the earth, especially mentioned here, is that earth can manifest different forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is beautiful. Listen to this. Earth can manifest different forms of Bhagwan. By this statement of Lord Kapil Dev's, it is confirmed that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Brahman has innumerable forms which are described in the scriptures. By manipulation of earth and its products such as stone, wood, jewels, these forms of Supreme Lord can be present before our eyes. When a form of Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu is manifested by presentation of a statue made of earth, it is not imaginary. The earth gives shape to the Lord's forms as described in the scriptures. Krishna is described in the scriptures based on those descriptions. Earth and different forms of earth like stone, marble, metals, they are used to fashion wood. They are used to fashion Bhagwan. In the Brahma Samhita, there is description of Lord Krishna's land, his variegatedness of spiritual abode, forms of the Lord playing a flute, Venu, Kwanantam, Aravinda, Dalayataksham, like that. His spiritual body is described. All these forms are described in the scriptures, and when they are thus presented, they become worshipable. You use earth to create these forms as described in Vedic literature, then it becomes authorized. And you pray to Krishna to manifest in that form through metal statue, marble statue, wooden statue, that is bona fide. Here it is said, Bhavanam Brahmana Sthanam. You can create Brahman, you can create Krishna using the element earth, provided it is done according to Shastra. 47. Nabho guna visheshortho yasya tachrotramuchyate vayor guna visheshortho yasya tat sparshanam viduhu. The sense whose object of perception is sound is called the auditory sense, hearing, auditory. And that whose object of perception is touch is called tactile sense, touch, auditory, hearing, touch, tactile. Purport. Sound is one of the qualifications of the sky and is the subject matter for hearing. Sound, sky, ether, hearing, auditory. Similarly, touch is the qualification of air and is the subject of the touch sensation in the skin. Tvacha, touch. 48. Last verse. Tejo guna visheshvartho yasya tat chakshur uchyate ambho guna visheshvartho yasya tad rasanam viduhu bhumer guna visheshvartho yasya sa grana uchyate. The sense whose object of perception is form, rup. The distinctive characters of fire is sense of sight. Fire gives sight, form. This is one. The sense whose object is perception of taste, tongue, is a distinctive characteristic of water. Without water, we cannot taste. Is known as a sense of taste, rasana, tongue. Finally, the sense whose object of perception is odor. Odor, nose, is a distinctive characteristic of earth. Earth has the feature characteristic of fragrance, odor. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the fragrance of earth. And it's called a sense of smell, olfactory, nose. So, in this way, there are different objects of perception, different characteristics of material element, along with different forms of perception. Shabda, sparsha, roop, rasa, gandha, earth, water, fire, air, ether, reverse order, like that. Okay, one last verse we'll take. 49. Parasya drishyate dharmo yapparasmin samanvayat ato vishesho bhavanam bhumavevopalakshate. Since the cause exists in its effect as well, the characteristics of the former are observed in the latter. There is cause and there is effect. The cause is sky. Effect is what? Air. Cause is air. Effect is what? Fire. Fire is the cause. Effect is what? Water. Water is the cause. Effect is what? Earth. So characteristic of former is present in the latter. Since the cause exists in its effect, as well as since the cause exists in its effect as well, the characteristics of the former are observed in the latter. That is why the peculiarities of all the elements exist in earth, bhuma, in the bhumi. Everything previous is there. Shabda, sparsha, roop, rasa, gandha, all five are there in earth only. Purport. Sound is the cause of the sky. Sky is the cause of air. Air is the cause of fire. Fire is the cause of water. And water is the cause of earth. Sounds like a physics or chemistry class, right? I repeat. Sound is the cause of sky. Sky is the cause of air. Air is the cause of fire. Fire is the cause of water. And water is the cause of earth. These are Prabhupada's words. Very beautiful. Prabhupada has summarized. We saw this, huh? How it goes from subtle to gross. In the sky, means ether, there is only sound. In the air, there is sound and touch. We can feel the air. In the fire, there is sound, there is touch, and there is form. We can see it. In the water, there is sound, there is touch, there is form. You can see water in a glass, and there is taste in water. And the earth, there is sound. Sound vibrations travel through the earth all the time. We have telephone wires transmitting sound vibrations. There is touch, there is form, there is taste, and there is smell also. Therefore, earth is the reservoir of all the qualities of the other elements. Earth is a sum total of all other elements. And the earth has all five qualities of the element. Water has four. Fire has three qualities. Air has two qualities. And sky has only one quality, sound. Shabda, sparsha, roop, rasa, gandha. All five are there in earth. Sound is the only one that air has, that sky has. Air has two. What are they? Shabda and sparsha. Fire has three. Shabda, sparsha, roop. Water has four. Shabda, sparsha, roop, rasa. And earth has all five. Shabda, sparsha, roop, rasa, gandha. Like that. So in this way, the creation takes place from subtle to gross. And annihilation takes place from gross to subtle. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Why are we studying all this? Very, very important. Let me ask Shama Kishori Mataji one question, because she has raised her lotus hand. Mataji, why are we studying all this? Let me unmute. Why do you think we are studying all this? Was this your question?
No.
Okay, then you answer our question. I asked
Yes.
first.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandar Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the very nice class. I think, Prabhuji, we may be studying this just to understand how complex Krishna's creation is, how he has created all these different material elements. So we can differentiate between matter and spirit, but I don't know.
No, good. Very good point. See, just think about it. If we understand this chapter nicely, the Sankhya philosophy, how there are different elements, how they come together, how they are created, how they are annihilated, How there is Daiva Chodita, there is always Daiva, Krishna's hand in everything. And these are all material elements, they're constantly transforming. Think about it. भक्ति में सबसे बड़ी बाधा क्या है? What is the greatest impediment in bhakti? We get lusty, we become greedy, isn't it? We become envious. Oh, this person is more beautiful than me. I'm envious. This person can produce better sound than me, better singer than me. I'm envious. This person has more money than me. Envious. When we study this one chapter nicely, we understand that this money, it is just material elements. Gold, dollar bills, they're just material elements, or rupees, Indian rupees. They're just material elements. This sound that I'm envious of, it is actually coming from Krishna. My sound is coming from Krishna. His or her sound is coming from Krishna. Why am I envious? If I'm envious of Krishna. And envy of Krishna is what keeps us in this material world. This beauty, it is just a certain transformation of material elements because of this person's karma. We saw how because of karma we get a life form, we get a body. So if they have done good karma, they are beautiful. I have done bad karma, I am ugly. In this way, just by understanding this one chapter apparently about all these material elements, if we actually understand it, understand Srila Prabhupada's purport, understand Sri Kapil Dev Bhagwan, what he's saying to us, we can become free from envy. We can become free from lust. We can become free from greed. Think about it. It is so profound. These are all elements, they belong to Krishna. Nothing belongs to me. I am just given a temporary body by Krishna. Let me do bhajan with this body. I don't know how long this body is going to last. That is one thing. On a sweeter note, can anybody tell me this whole philosophy of Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha, earth, water, fire, air, ether, this analogy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu uses to teach something very sweet and sublime in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Anybody remembers what Mahaprabhu uses this analogy for? If you don't know, then that will be your homework. And you tell me on Tuesday. Very sweet. Mahaprabhu uses this analogy. And Shamakeshwanath, you asked the question. Right?
Thank you, Proji. So I had two questions. Proji, when we read all these about the elements, how sound came from sky, and then air came, and then fire came, it's very hard for me to really understand and to process it. Like, how is sound coming from the sky? How is
By Daiva.
transforming into a
By Daiva.
so it's inconceivable. It's inconceivable. Is that the explanation?
Yeah, you saw in every verse the word Daiva was there. Daiva.
Because we cannot create fire from air, right?
We cannot create water from fire. We cannot
We cannot.
create fire from air. And we cannot create air from nothing, sky. So, yes, we cannot
Right.
do it, but Daiva is there. Krishna creates from subtle to gross and destroys from gross to subtle. Yes.
So it's inconceivable how it is created.
It is inconceivable because Krishna's energy is inconceivable. And Krishna
So
Shakti.
we cannot really understand how it happens.
We may be able to realize it, Vigyan, when we become self-realized and Krishna gives us the understanding. Or maybe in the next life, if we become Brahma, then we will be able to understand. Brahma knows how it happens. Brahma
Your
knows.
devotee will know.
Rudra knows. Lord Shiva knows because he destroys,
Right.
goes from gross to subtle. So Ahankar is the last element whose controller is Lord Shiva. So yeah. If Krishna gives the ability, we can understand. Otherwise, in the current situation, we cannot really understand.
Because a lot of these sections are very hard to understand. I mean, yes, I read this is coming from that and that is coming from that, but it's very hard to understand. So thank you for clarifying.
Oh.
And sorry, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, I had one question from Jaiva Dharma. May I ask?
Mataji, can we ask on Monday, if you don't mind?
Sure, Prabhuji.
No, not
Sure.
Monday.
Thank you.
Monday, I'm not sure if we'll have Jaiva Dharma because we have guests at home. So Monday, I don't know,
Okay,
but
Prabhuji.
Wednesday we'll have Jaiva Dharma. Wednesday, please hold your question and ask. Okay?
I may not be able to join on Wednesday, but whenever I get a chance next, I'll ask,
You
Prabhuji.
ask on
Maybe
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, Bhakti Vaibhava, you ask.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna. So I'll just tell you the answer because I want all of you to sleep peacefully. Mahaprabhu uses this analogy of earth, water, fire, air, ether to teach the sweetness, the beauty of Madhurya Prem. Mahaprabhu says the quality of Shantarati, Dasyarati, Sakhyarati, Vatsalyarati are all there in Madhurya just like the qualities of sky, air, fire, water are in earth. Similarly, Madhurya
Krishna.
Rati, the fifth rasa, has the quality of all the other four rasas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this in Chaitanya Charitamrita, uses this analogy. So we can end this Sankhya philosophy today discussion on a very sweet note that it all ends in Madhurya Rati, Radha Dasyam. Hare Krishna. शिल प्रभुपाद की जय.
Jai.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. हो झालं निताई.